Imagine sitting 30,000 feet in the air, trusting the man in the cockpit with your life, then discovering he was never actually trained to fly the plane. For 13 years, Thomas Salme flew commercial passenger aircraft across Europe. Passengers boarded. Cabin crew greeted travelers. The doors closed. The engines roared. And inside the cockpit sat a man everyone believed was a qualified pilot. But behind the uniform, behind the calm voice on the intercom, behind the cockpit door, was a secret no passenger could have imagined. He had never completed formal commercial pilot training. No standard airline pathway. No traditional certification journey like the professionals around him. Much of what he knew came from obsession, self-study, and countless hours on a home flight simulator. And somehow, he got away with it for over a decade. So how did one man convince airlines, airports, and aviation authorities that he belonged in the cockpit? And how did nobody stop him sooner? Thomas Salme didn't begin inside aviation academies. He began with fascination. Aircraft, controls, flight systems, cockpit procedures. He studied aviation obsessively. What started as interest became skill. And what became skill slowly became confidence. Then confidence became access. He didn't just admire aviation from a distance. He learned how pilots spoke, how they moved, how they handled procedures, how they carried authority. Eventually, he didn't just understand the role. He looked like he belonged inside it. Uniform, credentials, cockpit language, professional behavior. To everyone around him, he appeared convincing. Not nervous, not hesitant, not like someone pretending, like someone who'd done this for years. And that confidence may have been the most powerful disguise of all, because people often trust certainty before they verify truth. But the most unbelievable part of the story wasn't just Thomas Salme himself, it was the system around him. Commercial aviation is supposed to be one of the most heavily controlled industries in the world. Layers of verification, security checks, training records, licensing, monitoring, medical clearances, airline review, authority oversight. And yet, somehow, he made it through. That's what made the case so disturbing. Because the question became bigger than one man. It became, how did aviation fail to catch him? How were credentials accepted? Were warning signs missed? Did assumptions replace verification? Did confidence become enough to silence doubt? Because once someone looks the part, people often stop asking questions. And in an environment built entirely on trust, that can become dangerous. Every commercial flight carries hundreds of invisible responsibilities. Altitude, weather, communication, emergency procedure, navigation, fuel management, landing precision, passenger safety. Every decision matters. And that's what makes this story feel so unsettling. Because while passengers relaxed in their seats, read magazines, ordered drinks, or looked out the window, they had no idea the person flying them carried a secret hidden behind professionalism, behind routine, behind a pilot's uniform. And the contrast feels surreal. A man practicing aviation in private, then stepping into a real cockpit with real passengers, real stakes, and no room for error. Thousands of feet above the ground. No reset button. No simulation. Just reality. Eventually, the truth surfaced. And when it did, it spread quickly. A pilot, flying commercial aircraft for years, using credentials that did not fully reflect his official qualification path. The headlines focused on fraud, on deception, on breach of trust. But the deeper reaction wasn't outrage. It was disbelief. Because people began asking a harder question. Not just how did he do it, but how many systems failed to notice. Because the cockpit isn't supposed to be accessible by chance. Airlines don't operate on assumptions. At least, they're not supposed to. And yet this story revealed something unsettling. That even in one of the most controlled environments in the world, certainty is only as strong as the checks behind it. And once those checks are bypassed, everything else depends on belief, not proof. And the most disturbing part is not that it happened, it's that it was possible at all. Because if one pilot could get through, the real question is, what else have we missed? Drop your thoughts and like this video, and if life anomalies and reality fractures are your thing, then this channel was created for you.